Palace in Istanbul. A 4-day tale of color, culture, and connection. Day 1, arrival in Istanbul. The moment I stepped out of the arrivals gate at Istanbul Airport and saw a sign with my name held by a cheerful guide, I felt instantly at ease. Gate number 8 suddenly became my gateway to adventure. The drive into the city offered fleeting glimpses of domes and minarets on the horizon, familiar from photos, yet achingly more real now. Once checked into the hotel, I had the afternoon free. Naturally, I wandered. I strolled with no agenda, letting Istanbul reveal itself. Children played on street corners. Vendors called out with trays of sesame-covered simit, and the air danced with the scent of roasting chestnuts and brewing tea. I settled in a tiny cafe tucked into a quiet alley. One steaming Turkish tea later, I felt like the city had extended me a warm, cinnamon-scented embrace. Day's highlight, that first sip of Turkish tea, watching daily life unfold, simple, rich, unforgettable. Day 2, Istanbul City Tour. Breakfast with a view of tiled roofs and seagulls soaring above. It felt like a painting. And then the real magic began. We started at the Hagia Sophia. I knew it was grand, but standing beneath its vast golden dome, bathed in amber light, I could feel time. Mosaics whispered stories from Byzantium, while the calligraphy of later centuries hummed their own melodies. I stood still, overwhelmed, with goosebumps prickling my arms. Then we moved to the Topkapi Palace. Wandering its courtyards, I could almost hear the swish of sultans' robes. The treasury was jaw-dropping, gemstones the size of plums. But it was the harem that lingered with me, a labyrinth of secrets, silence, and subtle grandeur. Next came the Blue Mosque, 6 minarets piercing the sky, and inside, blue everywhere. The Iznik tiles glowed, and as I sat on the carpet, I felt suspended in serenity. Lunch was a welcome break. Kebabs grilled to perfection and lentil soup that soothed the soul. Refueled, we visited the Hippodrome, once alive with chariot races. Now just stones and stories remain, but I imagined the roar of crowds and the dust of horses. We ended at the Grand Bazaar. Oh, the colors, lanterns, spices, silks, and haggling that felt more like dance than negotiation. I left with a scarf and a story. Day's highlight, sitting inside Hagia Sophia, feeling like the whole world, past and present, was breathing through one building. Day 3, Bosphorus Day Tour. Morning lights slanted through the arched windows of the Egyptian bazaar. It was a riot of color and scent, cinnamon, saffron, cardamom. I lingered by a stall where the vendor handed me a cube of rose-flavored lokum. It melted like memory. Then we boarded a public boat for a cruise on the Bosphorus. Wind tangled my hair as we glided between continents. Dolmabahce Palace, Chiran Palace, Rumeli Fortress. They floated by like imperial ghosts. The water shimmered with reflections of history. Later, in Fener and Balat, cobbled lanes twisted between candy-colored houses. A child waved from a window. A cat sauntered past a purple doorway. I took photos, but they didn't capture how alive the place felt. In St. Stephen's Iron Church, light filtered through stained glass and shimmered on cast iron columns, sacred and surreal. Just nearby, the Orthodox Patriarchate Church was quieter, its candlelight soft and reverent. And then Pierre Loti Cafe. Oh, the view. The Golden Horn glistened below, as if kissed by the sun. I sipped tea where the French writer once did, and let time stand still. Day's highlight. The breeze on the Bosphorus. Istanbul to my left and right, past and present around me. Day 4. Departure. After breakfast, I had a few hours left. I walked slowly through nearby streets, imprinting details, the cobblestones, the tilt of the houses, the call to prayer weaving through morning traffic. My transfer arrived, and I watched Istanbul blur behind the window. My heart felt heavier than my suitcase. Day's highlight. A final, silent moment looking over the Bosphorus, grateful beyond words.